Now let's look into the various ways of doing data tabulation. So we have the frequency distribution, relative frequency distribution, and grouped relative frequency distribution, and finally we have stem plot. And so these are the different types of distributions, and we'll first look into the frequency distribution in detail, then we will move on to the other things one by one, which comes under the data tabulation and which comes under the organizing the data. So that's what the first aspect of doing the descriptive statistics. You have to make sure you have to organize your data first, then you can go for the any other action using descriptive statistics. So frequency distribution is a common statistical analysis that displays the number of occurrences. Again, I'm repeating, frequency distribution displays the number of occurrences of each unique value as a data set. In pandas, you can easily calculate and visualize frequency distribution using various functions and methods. So now let's look into the each of them one by one. So the one example that you can see on the screen, so it's maybe in cricket. So you have 13 score. So two batsmen scored 13, and four batsmen scored 14, and 15 score was scored by 5, and 16 by 8, and 17 by 6. And so how many batsmen have scored 13? It's 2. The frequency is 2. How many batsmen have scored 14? It's 4. And how many batsmen have scored 15? It's 5. And how many batsmen have scored 16? It's 8. And total is 25. So this is called the frequency distribution. So now let's do one example. So let me put the frequency distribution here. So 3.1 frequency distribution. Yep. So the first example, frequency distribution of a single column. It's a pretty simple one. So frequency distribution of a single column. So let's create a sample data frame first. So DFT data frame for the frequency distribution. So PD dot data frame, and inside I'm gonna give the key value pair. So let's begin with the age, and age I'm gonna give it one by one, just okay, a sequence of values. That's 25, 30, 30, 22, and 35, and 28, 30, and 35, and 30 again, 22, 25, and finally I'll go for the 22 and 28, so that I can have a repetition of values. That's it. Our data frame is ready. So now let me go for let's calculate the frequency distribution of age column. So let's calculate frequency distribution of age column. Okay, so freq dist is equal to df of age dot its value count. Simple. Yeah, so value count. Now let me print it. So print frequency distribution and execute it. There is an issue saying age. Age is an issue. Sorry, got the point. It's not age. Yep, that's it. And this is your frequency distribution table. So the people the people with age 30 in this population, the members with age 30 are 3, with 22 3, 25 2, 35 2, and 28 2. So that's what the frequency distribution of this population. So now let's move on to the another one. So frequency distribution of multiple columns. How do we do that? We will do it. Just a minute. Frequency distribution of multiple columns. So let's create sample data frame again. It's a simple, it's a pretty simple one. Let's create this pretty simple one. So DFDM multiple columns and PD data frame and a dictionary, gender, a list of male, female, and it's better to just copy paste. And 5 is in. Yep, this is a first key value pair, and second one is age. Again, let me give a sequence to it. So it's 25 30, 22, then 35 28. That's it. My data frame is ready. Now let me calculate frequency distribution of gender and age columns. So freq distribution of gender, this is equals to DFDM of gender value counts, and similarly other column. That's freq distribution of age is equals to DFFTM, and its age. So let me go for the value counts again. That will give you the frequency distribution with the unique one. And then finally let's print all together. So print freq distribution gender and print freq distribution age, and here is that. So freq distribution gender, so we have 3 male and 2 female, and when it comes to the age, it's 1 1 1 1. Next, so similarly we can go for the lot of examples if you want, but these are enough for now, and we will be moving on to the relative frequency distribution.